Hey everyone, Porsche Racer 14 here, and I thought I'd share an interesting couple replays here to kind of show the tactics behind doing successful destroyer gameplay, hunting, torpedo runs, ghost torping, and when not to use your guns, and how to do objectives. Basically focuses mostly on the IJN line, but I guess in the higher tier USN line, you'd be able to run the same kind of ghost torping or torping outside your detectability range. So basically that means they don't know you're there, but you can see them. Or at least that's the objective. When and when not to use smoke, things like that. And just being very aware, taking a look at your surroundings, land cover, your mini-map. Of course, it makes it a lot easier when you have another competent player with you in the same division. You're able to communicate. So if you're using TeamSpeak or Skype or whatever, some kind of method to communicate to each other quickly and efficiently, you can really focus on targets or multiple targets at once. So let's get to it. We got a target up here. We're both kind of taking a look at, and I'm waiting till I get around here. But it looks like CV also wants to get in on the action. So that's another thing you have to be mindful over. Same thing if you're a CV player. You could have your torpedoes all lined up and they're all looking good, and CV comes in to drop torps and makes them all squarely. Though in this case, maybe not so much. And then we got a Omaha up here. And this guy's really low health, but I still don't want to fire my guns yet. Oh, sorry about that, folks. That's Sorter in the background updating. So here we go.
Torpedoes, dead ahead.
Let's see if we can get some. Uh-oh.
Torpedoes, direct front.
I think I messed up here. Yep. Scout plane. And a touch too close. I didn't turn quick enough. But I'm not gonna fire my guns. Especially gunboats. That's usually some of their follies. It's like, oh darn, I'm detected. Well, might as well start shooting my guns. Well, that raises your detection 4 kilometers radius around you. That means other ships that may have not have known that you're there just start popping up. So cruisers outside of your detection range start popping up. You name it, other destroyers, battleships, and of course, since you're a destroyer with very low health and very squishy, they'll take shots at you because they also know the threat that you pose. So I backed off, though I think this Omaha knows he's been targeted for torpedo runs, so he's gonna be pretty squirrely. Yep. Plus he's also getting a shot at here. So my buddy and me, we're kind of trying to control this area. And even if we're not successfully getting hits, we're keeping them at bay, we're forcing them to churn. I mean, especially if you got battleships behind you, and especially in the higher tiers, you get a lot of battleship coming bow on. Well, that's really hard to get the good solid alpha damage hits that the battleships want. One way to make them churn and show broadside, get some torpedo salvos off at them. So either maybe they can go in between and split them, but if you send them on an angle, that kind of forces them to churn, which may force them to show broadside. And if your battleships can take advantage of that, they can get knocked down pretty darn quickly. Or they take some torpedoes too in the process. But I'm trying to line up some other targets here, but it looks like, yeah, he's going to lead away. I'm also being mindful of this Kuma here. He's playing in my space. And that's another thing to always know before you head out into combat with your destroyer. Know your detection range and know your torpedo range. Now, that being said, like the torpedoes in this kamikaze are, they have a maximum range of 7 kilometers. And they're fairly fast torpedoes. I mean, similar to the minikaze, isokaze. The kaze ships are pretty similar. That being said, now if a ship is coming towards you, what I mean is he's angling in towards you, it's a fast ship like a cruiser, you can send those things at 8 kilometers away. And they'll most likely hit, as long as he maintains that path of coming in towards. And dang. Talk about paying attention to ships around me. Come on, Omaha. Alright, let's cut some speed here and get away. Jeez, really? Man, I took more damage from him than I have from the enemies. Oh well. I guess they really wanted that Omaha kill. Well, east side is down. Looks pretty clear. We gotta start pushing back on B here and get that middle cap. But like I was saying with torpedoes, now conversely, if you're chasing a ship, yeah, these are pretty speedy torpedoes. That being said, I'd probably have to get really darn close to the edge of my detection range, say, especially if I was chasing a Congo. I gotta pretty much be almost detected to launch my torpedoes, even having a hope of chance of hitting it. And thank you, Mayogi, for blocking those for me. Sheesh. And there's the kamikaze R. He's almost dead. Let's try it. Oh, okay, he's finished off anyways. So now my detection range has gone up 4 kilometers. Instantly, just like that. So normal detection range on here is 6 kilometers, I believe, or 6.1. 6.1 because it's kamikaze R. But anyways, that means I just bumped up to minimum 10 kilometers. That being said, I should have shown up on the map here. Should have. Now I don't know, but I should have shown up on the map. Yeah, especially with their planes being ahead, and I may have timed out by then. But New York should have seen something come up on his map, or other ships in that area and planes. Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know why he was coming in here. Now I anticipated he's going to churn towards those islands and get out. So that's why I put one spread behind the lead and a couple kind of mostly on it. Because there's really only one way he's going to churn. I didn't anticipate him churning before that. I figured he was just trying to get out of there. And yep.
We've destroyed an enemy battleship.
So when you think about how a battleship was going to churn, I could only see him churning to his right, or starboard. That means his ass end is going to swing out. So that's why I shot the torpedo spread like that. Try to maximize hits. Now conversely, if it would have been the other way, there would have been a bit more on the lead, because his ass end would have been swinging out, which means your torpedoes take more time to get there, technically. So I guess after playing it a while, I mean, I'm still not perfect, and you can't always anticipate fully what they're gonna do, but when you got land on one side, there's really only one way they can go. If they maintain, of course, he could have just hit the brakes and probably avoided a bunch of them. Not all of them, but a bunch. But he had no one screening ahead of him, and he may not have known I was there. Anyways, we got another battleship up here. And he probably doesn't know I'm here either. So I anticipate him just steaming by. Not really knowing where I am. And I'm just poking along here because I don't want to give my position away. Which is kind of deceiving from this view, but you have to think of where your citadel is, like middle. Oh, okay. I guess that's all we needed on him. And holy smokes, we got another customer. Okay. So we went from early in the battle of not hitting anything, not being able, just using torpedoes to push them away, to finding a smorgasbord over here. Uh-oh. Oh no, I think that bogater is gonna get in the way. Oh, never mind. We don't have to worry about getting a team kill hit or anything, so I smoke up. I mean, I don't know if the Conga would have looked over, I guess. He would have seen smoke. I would have been, holy smokes. But really, again, he's got land on one side, and there's only one way he can turn. And there we go. And we got one left here, Tenryu. Now, boy, I can't turn around. Oh, wait a minute. Really? He's gonna come down here. Jeez. I guess it's like they always say, right place at the right time. Wow. I guess there's really nowhere for him to go if he wants to split that one set. So, thanks, Evie. Again, I did different leads on him because I didn't know exactly how he was going to turn coming in. If he's going to speed up a little bit. When a ship comes out of turn, it'll lose his speed, and then, oh, we got him.
We destroyed an enemy cruiser.
So, there's some areas of how to play it a little bit better. And here's another one with IJN Kaze, Tier 4. Again, very similar detection rate, very similar torpedoes. It's that those by 2 spreads, which at first I never really liked, but then once you get more precise on your torpedoes, you can really devastate targets. Again, it takes some practice, it takes some patience, a lot of patience. If you're coming from fast gunboating or cruisers or gameplay like that, and you hop into a destroyer where you can stealth torp or ghost torp, it's different. It needs some patience. And sometimes it doesn't always pay off. Sometimes you have to force things. So it really depends how you need to play it. Oh, and looks like a little bit of network lag there. What? Again, I'm doing the same kind of thing like last one, except taking a different role. Where my buddy was up going closer to the islands. Now it's my turn. And, ooh, I got detected. But it looks like his planes are moving off because they're getting chased, so just be cool, just be cool. That being said, they know a destroyer is coming up there.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon.
But they... holy smorgasbord down here. So again, it's trying to pick your best targets. Cruisers are definitely harder. They're more shifty. Destroyers, the same thing. It's like herding cats some days. And here, let me fix the replay. There we go. Because there's no way I was shooting a widespread. I'm not saying widespreads don't have their uses. Sometimes if you're unsure how a target's going to go, you may have more success doing widespreads. With a 2x3 setup, I don't think you're going to get much success on a widespread. I would just shoot narrow and just time your salvos, your torpedo salvos off, or your spreads, I guess. That's what I find is the best. So I anticipated a little too much. I thought he was going to speed around, but it looks like he slowed down a bit to go for our destroyer there. So at least we got something into him. One thing nice about these IJN destroyers, you're not waiting too long on torpedoes. They come back up really darn quickly. And that's Svetlana there. He's having a rough day. So let's see. These are going to be a tight shot through here. So I'm slowing down. I'm just waiting for him to move the lead marker. And it's also knowing the position. So you see here, I'm anticipating. Now it flips to my front set. Now I can no longer do that same angle. But I got a few off at least. Not saying they're going to be successful, but sometimes doing tricky shots like that, where they least would expect it, can catch them off guard. And plus, there's also a few ships up there, so I figure whatever happens, I might get something in on them. So, wouldn't you know it? Wasn't going for the Bogadier, but oh well, he took one. And it caused flooding, because I think he used his damage repair to put out fires. So that's rough. And my buddy popped smoke up here because he said there's a bunch of ships. So I said, I'll come around and take a look for you. And yeah, there's holy smokes. Okay. Yeah, there's... So this is where I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, wait. Okay, that's too much. All right. Time to repair this and pop smoke and get out of here.
Critical engine damage. Problem solved, sir.
No use being brave and, you know, being cheap on the smoke. If you gotta use it, you gotta use it. That being said, there's enough smoke here, and we got our other cruiser spotting them. Might as well try to get as much damage as we can. And we're just trying to flood this area with torpedoes. Now, of course, they're going to be all squirrely as they can. Again, anticipating that they're going to churn and try to avoid. And trying to kind of cross-hatch them a bit. And trying to fake him out here. Oh, there we go. Oops. Sorry, teammate. Dang it. Oh, I'm just trying to finish off this Bogadier. Alright, we got him. Yeah, I guess the enemy team didn't like that, but he's true. That was torpedo hell. Again, trying to see what else we can get up here. He's just a bit out. I'm trying to speed up here. I may have to come around the other side. I'm thinking if he comes up here and he turns around, it's gonna slow down a bit. He's got a lot of torpedoes coming in. Well, he's still maintaining a good speed. Oh, he's slowing back down a bit. Well, he may speed up again. Let's see what happens here. Again, trying to scan for multiple targets. Oh, well, we got something at least. Again, communicating with my buddy. We're picking targets. We're talking. So we're kind of trying to overwhelm a target with torpedoes. There we go.
Enemy cruiser foundered.
What else do we got up here? We got a South Carolina. I was being fancy there, following my torpedoes and not paying attention, and ran into the detection range of that South Carolina. So, thankfully, yeah, it's just the Phoenix there. Yikes! Really? Man, I need that torpedo too. It's crucial. Now, I thought for sure, after being detected and getting fired upon, that South Carolina would just clearly just back up. Just turn and get out of there. But, you never know. Oh. Oh, oh, ouch. Ouch. Ah, my buddy got it. Oh well. Still good though. Yeah, he kind of had nowhere to go. Well, what else do we have up here? I mean, they have to totally realize, with that many torpedoes in there, that, well, I mean, they can look at the scoreboard or the team list. There's still 2 active destroyers out here. I mean, we did initially think about hunting down their own destroyer, but we figured, probably wouldn't pose that much of a threat. But he did show up on the map. It looks like he's going for a cap, so my buddy's going off for him while sending off some torpedoes. And we're trying to finish off this Phoenix here, so he can't harass my buddy. Phoenix is pretty agile, but not much hit points. And wow. Okay, so it probably means my set's not gonna hit. But I slow down here. And what you don't see here is I switch targets. I'm targeting the Wyoming, which for some reason is just sitting there. I don't get it. So as soon as my torpedoes come back, I kind of dance them around the ship. I mean, if he does keep moving, whatever. But I'm going to let them get out. Got my smoke up. And I fire on the Phoenix. It's time to get rid of that guy. So, there is a time to use guns. And I'm just waiting here and seeing what's going to happen. So my buddy got a few off, and is he gonna start moving? Yeah, but too late. There's a bunch of torpedoes headed your way, dude. Now, I'm not saying you always see that in the game, but you know, you gotta take advantage of those opportunities when you can. Alright. So I'm gonna flip this around here and go back to our cap and help my buddy. But yeah, there's, like I was mentioning before, there's times when to use your smoke screen and times when not to, because the smoke screen also does give away that, you know, there's a destroyer out there. So sometimes, I know a lot of people like to sit in their smoke screens or whatever, but if you don't fire your guns and you just back off, again, outside your detection range, then they don't know you're there. They can go back to ghost torping. Again, those targets around there probably should act a little squirrely, as in trying to be evasive or trying to hunt you down. So sometimes it has to be your call. Sometimes you can just sit there if you know there's no other destroyers in front of you, or there's no torpedoes that can make that range towards you. And the worst thing just happened up here. My buddy's game client just crashed. And he's essentially just sitting there in our cap. And I was like, oh no. And our carrier's up there, and there's no way, I don't think my torps can get there in time. He's being all squirrely. Yeah. Alright. Time to use guns. Let's see. He's so low and he's burning. But wow, our CV dodged his torpedoes and oh crap, he got him. And see you folks on the high seas.